Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, even though I said I haven't been too interested in reading on Karen McDougal, I think I'm going to jump in on that one. And hers might be a little bit more of a sympathetic tale, in some ways. Because it seemed like she really thought she was interested in Donald, and Donald was interested in her, and they had an affair, and she thought it was going places. Now, I don't know how she didn't know that he was married and had a child. Maybe she did. Uh, sometimes you fall for somebody and you make some decisions that maybe later you might regret or something along those lines. But, I get why he's attracted to her. She's an incredibly good-looking woman, especially, the pictures of her back in 2006 wearing a black gown posing next to him. She's gorgeous. But it's funny because, Trump forced himself on Stormy Daniels, and this woman eagerly gave herself to him. And yet here they both are in this case. Both paid money to not discuss this case back in 2018 or 2016 because it impacted his election, and that revelation came in 2018. So she's going to be a witness in this case, and I'm just really curious, what is the energy around Karen McDougal and coming up with this case? I'm curious where she is mentally and emotionally. Entertainment purposes only. Okay. At the foundation of the reading is the Eight of Wands. This is things happening quickly, but it's also about messaging and such. We'll see where this goes. This is going to raise her her profile, her visibility. She's an actress, so this might do something to get her on the talk show circuit. Let's see if I can pronounce things correctly. I don't know if she's still gold digging off it. I'm curious. I'm just curious to see what happens with this. But we've got messaging and things changing quickly. Crossed with the Page of Swords. Okay. I think what she looks back on what she did as, kind of foolish little schoolgirl-ish, had like schoolgirl crush type thing, raced into something with somebody, and she might be wiser for it. So this may not be anything at all about her trying to, capitalize on her brand. I think in the 18 intervening years from when they first encountered to where she is now, she's matured as a person and hopefully has seen what happened in here so that she doesn't repeat it. But there's, as we come to this trial, there's an expectation there's more to come. So I'm kind of curious to see how this all pans out. I'm sure she gets in the neighborhood of as much hate mail that Stephanie Clifford gets, but probably not as much because Stephanie Clifford has no problem getting into the face of the MAGA crowd, where Karen McDougal seems to keep a much lower profile. In the past, heartbreak and betrayal. Honest to God, as wild as this sounds, I think she really liked him. And when he offered to pay her after their tryst, she had to tell him she wasn't that kind of girl. And Trump didn't know what to do. But you don't want the money? Normally he would just say yay, but I guess if she's giving the milk away for free and doesn't have to pay for it, he's going to keep her around. Yeah, and honestly, in my taste in women, oh my God, she runs circles around Melania as far as that goes. Not to throw any shade on Melania, but we all have our tastes, and Karen McDougal would way more fit my taste than Melania. Just saying. But there's heartbreak and betrayal here, probably with, if she did know Trump. I gotta look now. Hang on for a second. She had to know. Hang on. All right, we're back. Yeah, yes, she did. It was a 10-month affair, so I did a little more reading on it. 10-month affair. She did know he was married. She broke it off with him because basically, guess what? She was feeling guilty for fooling around with a married man and claims she had sex with him dozens of times. All that sounds believable, right? So that heartbreak and disappointment might even be for herself. You know, my God, why did I do this? What was I thinking on this one? So in the past, I think what this all brings out to is the shame that she feels for what she did. She apologized to Melania in this article I saw in USA Today. Not that Melania is going to take that apology, but this woman actually has feelings and expresses remorse and guilt and things that show she has a conscience. It's kind of wasted on narcissists like Donald Trump and Melania Trump, but she wasn't apologizing to Melania for Melania's forgiveness. She was apologizing to Melania because she needed to forgive herself for what she did when she was younger and making foolish choices. Current situation is the Three of Pentacles. She's going to talk about the payments that were made, the arrangements, the NDAs, stuff along those lines. That's what she's being brought in for. It is not a crime to have an affair. It's not a crime to be paid money for said affair. It is a crime to falsify his business records, and it's a crime to try and hide that affair because it might violate campaign finance issues and impact an election. So it's also a voter, what's the word I'm looking for here? Election interference. Okay. But she's going to talk about the relationships, the money that changed hands, and all that background information. I just don't think she's not Stephanie Clifford. She's not Stormy Daniels in that she's not going to spill the tea. I don't think that's her jam. Overarching energy is the Magician. He had the magic hands. I'm thinking of the Heart song, Magic Man. She fell for him. She fell for the illusion that was Donald Trump. And she'll admit it. She has admitted it. She made mistakes. And what she's doing here is she's trying to rectify the mistakes. So much like Michael Cohen is on a redemption arc, she's on her own form of a redemption arc as far as that goes. Will it be as satisfying as Michael Cohen's or even Stephanie Clifford's? Different. It's different. And we shouldn't judge it. This is her life journey, and this is how she's choosing to handle it. I'm glad she's at least on this side of the life journey. Lesson to be learned is judgment. I'm wondering if she's a religious woman. I think she's kind of doing this to atone for her past sins. And again, the jury's gonna. Some folks in the jury are gonna look at her differently than they would Stephanie Clifford or Michael Cohen. I mean, you think about it. You really have the Neapolitan ice cream, the strawberry, the vanilla, and the chocolate in there, depending on what your favorite flavor is. In one case, you've had somebody who was his lawyer. You know, you could make an argument that he felt like he was a favored son to the man. You know, did all the things he could, loyalty, take a bullet for him, and then he gets betrayed and thrown under the bus. So you've got that type of disloyalty. You've got the woman who was an adult film actress who was sexually assaulted, basically raped by Donald Trump. So you've got that person. Now you've got a woman who basically fell in love with him and then broke it off because she felt guilty for that. She was doing the wrong thing. She had her conscience finally got the better of her, and she's like, no, I don't need that. So, you know, you can not like Michael Cohen, you can not like Stephanie Clifford, but maybe Karen McDougal resonates with you. So you may not like chocolate, You may not like strawberry, but maybe vanilla works really well for you. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm going with it. There's such three diverse stories that are coming on here. Kind of like the magician. You've got all the tools here to explain what he did and why he did it. And I think for some jury members, they may not like Cohen. They may not like Miss Clifford, but they might like Karen McDougal. Out comes the Page of Cups. Yeah, again, I think she's going to resonate with some people on the jury. And, with the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups, naive, getting in that relationship, what she might look at it now. It's like, what the heck was I thinking? Why would I even do that with that man? And I suspect she wouldn't make that mistake again. I could be wrong, but when Melania leaves, and trust me, she will, insert your favorite Hall & Oates lyrics here, she's gone. I'd pay the devil to replace her. Michelle and I were looking up the lyrics. The lyrics are amazing. She ended up playing the song and singing along. Michelle sings pretty well. Very well. Karen McDougal's like, oh God, I can only imagine. She said, oh my God, what was I thinking? Especially as you've seen this man's life pan out. Okay, that's the energy around her. How will her testimony impact the trial? I think we've got the answer, but let's see if we get a little more clarity on that one. How will Karen McDougal's testimony impact the trial? Page of Pentacles. I don't think it's going to be as valuable as the others, but it's valuable in its own right. She's going to talk about the money that was offered to her. This is just confirming the catch and kill motives of David Pecker and AMI. Cross with the disappointment. The emotional disappointment. Yeah, and there's that Two of Wands again. I don't know if anything's coming out of this, but she's going to talk about the money and the emotional disappointment, probably in herself for carrying on an affair with a married man. And underneath it all is the Two of Wands. It's that planning, that forward looking. Again, I think she's doing this not only to get the record straight, but to help her move on with her life. Asking how it's going to impact the jury. This is what I see the testimony as being like. In the past, the Ace of Wands, taking strong action. Just like Stephanie Clifford owned it, she's owning it. She owned what she did. And now she's here to tell that side of the story. Interesting, we've got the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, and now the Three of Wands. She wants to put this behind her. She is looking forward to putting this behind her. She's like, when the court's done, she's leaving this behind. So leave it all out in the courtroom, stuff like that. Again, I'm not really getting what the jury's seeing with this, but it's just more the impact of this testimony on the trial. Temperance is the overarching energy. The purification, tamping things down. She's going to be believable. She's just going to be believable. And Stephanie Clifford has had court cases around Trump, but it's been about defamation. It's not been a shakedown. She hasn't had those court cases about Trump. She had a court case against Tucker Carlson that got tossed out, and that was the famous Tucker Carlson. Well, of course, Fox members know that Tucker Carlson's a liar, duh, and that's why her case got tossed out. Basically, the argument was people who watch Fox News clearly can understand that Tucker Carlson lies, so that's why it's not defamation. I would want to retry that case. I want to bring some data about Fox viewers and cognitive reasoning and critical thinking skills and show the judge that previous ruling was complete and utter garbage. Lesson to be learned is the Four of Swords. Yeah, I think when she's done with this testimony, she's gone. She's going to lay low. She doesn't. It's funny, I started off this reading saying, no, she's an actress. Maybe she's going to leverage this. I don't think she is. I think she's just going to go away. You won't hear from this person again. They don't want this publicity. They don't want to be tied to this. Four of Cups. I think there's going to be offers to her to go on TV shows, to write books, stuff like that. I don't think she's going to take it. I don't think she'll take it. I think she just wants to go and live her life. She doesn't need the drama in it. In some ways, it makes sense she wouldn't want, five of Cups, a disappointment. She doesn't want that because it just reminds her of the lousy choice. Remember that time you were slutting around with Donald Trump? It's kind of like Monica Lewinsky, that same sort of thing with Bill Clinton. She, I don't know how, I don't remember if she went on a tour after the impeachment trials and stuff like that, but she basically dropped off the earth for 30 years. She's made some appearances since then. I think when you got the president in affairs, that's when she came back up again. But she went off and she lived her life and lied low, and she was the butt of jokes for a while. But I think for the most part, a lot of people, younger people especially, they don't know the pop culture about her. They don't know who she is or why she's relevant. The rest of us do, because we lived through that impeachment trial and the salacious nature of it. But she'll be known for that likely when she passes, but it's going to be one of those things that people won't be wildly interested in. Likely by the time she passes, everyone watching this will be gone. Anybody who knows who she was will be gone. Everybody else would have been her age or younger, and not many people around that would remember this, unless she dies young, of course. But yeah. I'm not quite done yet here. Karen McDougal, what's the future hold for her? After this is all said, or I should say, how does she feel after this trial's over with? How does Karen McDougal feel about everything after this trial is over with? Yep, she just wants to go. Want to go. Bye. Yeah, she just wants to leave this shame behind her. This is just, she feels really shame. She feels shameful for what happened here. She wants to leave this behind. Page of Pentacles. She did her piece. She spoke her role. This has been a burden she's been carrying for a while, and she wants to leave that burden behind. And unfortunately, the only way to get rid of this burden was to excise it. Painful, but it had to be done. Sorry, this just had to be done. And she can go on with her life, doing the things that she loves doing. Yeah. I think she feels like she's done her part. It broke her heart. I'm not going to rhyme it any more than that. Donald smells like a fern. Okay, I rhymed it anyways. Yeah. No, she's gone. We're not. I don't think we're going to see much more of Karen McDougal after this. If she gets married, it might make some tabloid news or something like that, and it's just going to be Karen McDougal, the woman who had an affair with Donald Trump, just got married to, some millionaire boyfriend in Aspen, Colorado, or something along those lines. It's just, yeah, she's gone. We won't see her anymore. She will have done her part. Again, I talk about Michael Cohen and Stephanie Clifford taking major roles. She took a somewhat major role in this. It's not quite the leading cast member, but it's not an insignificant role either in all this. Yeah, kind of even a more minor role than, say, like a Hope Hicks might have played in all this. So just wish her well, send her some light, send her on her way. Understand that this is part of her journey, and it's dealing with acknowledging past acts and redeeming yourself for those past acts, and then moving on with your life. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To those just subscribing recently to the channel, welcome to the channel. I really appreciate you finding us, and I hope you find these readings insightful, entertaining, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.